Hi, I'm Derek from Boise Cylinder Head Services. Um, been working here for about 10, 12 years in the cylinder head industry, rebuilding automotive machinist, really. Uh, Rebuilding cylinders is pretty much what we primarily do here. We have another shop where we do the full engine rebuilds, install them in the engine or in the cars. But yeah. Today is our first live video, so we're pretty excited about that. Um, yeah, yeah.
So tell us how you got into the automotive industry.
So my dad started out a mechanic shop back in his 20s, and he's been doing that for a long time, about 30 some odd years roughly. Working in the mechanic industry, he had to send a lot of his stuff out to get worked on, cylinder heads, blocks, that sort of thing. And he kept getting issues where like they just problems with the cylinder heads, problems with the blocks. And it got to the point where he's like, enough is enough. And he just needed to learn and do it himself. So he started buying resurfacing equipment, valve grinding
Hey, Christina,
equipment.
how are you?
Yeah. Hey, Christina, how's it going? But he used to, he started buying equipment and taking classes on what to do to fix cylinder heads or bore blocks and become an automotive machinist. And through that process, he collected the knowledge and the machines to, run a whole business, automotive machine shop. And then I started working there at like 18 or so. I mean, I worked there since I was like 5, but wasn't really, working very hard. I really started getting into it when I was about 19. And he trained me up on how to rebuild cylinder heads, how to bore blocks, assemble engines, the whole 9 yards. And that was about 12 years ago. We had a single shop here in Garden City, Idaho, and once we got the cylinder head portion big enough, we bought this building. It's Boise Cylinder Head, and so we split them into 2 different businesses. And now he does all the lower end work, and we rebuild cylinder heads here. So
yeah, it's nice to meet you too, Christina.
yeah, nice to meet you, Christina.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for Derek, Christina? So what makes you passionate about cylinder heads?
Well, I've always been interested in cars, going fast, how they work. My dad's been a big influence in that because he's been doing it my whole life. So it was pretty easy for me to fall into that role. And now I'm really good at it. I know what I'm doing. I like doing it. Working with these machines. There's some pretty expensive, fancy machines out there. We got quite a few here, and just learning those and how to operate those and what effect, how they operate and function in a business is just very intriguing to me. And throughout it, we've kind of created customers that I really enjoy helping out, and just every day's you learn something new. We work on all sorts of stuff from cars, tractors, motorcycles, pretty much everything. So we kind of get to learn a little bit about German engineering, Japanese cars. We just get to learn it all, and it's just always evolving and always learning more is huge interest. Keeps me involved in my job and happy at my job to learn something every day. So, yeah.
What like brand or car that do you like working on the most?
Subaru. I mean, we rebuild so many Subarus here for some dealerships that we know those inside and out. I've owned a couple Subaru turbos, and those cars really book it, and I really enjoy driving those and working on those cylinder heads. Those are probably my favorite ones. I mean, we've done a lot with Toyota 22Rs and 3VZs and 5VZs out of the Toyota Tacomas and 4Runners. I've owned a lot of those too, and those are just really reliable vehicles. So, working on stuff that a lot of people work on and need that kind of help work on their cylinder heads. We've done so many of the 22Rs that we know those inside and out now, and we stock them on our shelf. And Same with the 3VZ. So I'm pretty familiar with these. And if people have oddball problems with their cars, they bring it to us so that we can, help them figure it out, which, helping people figure out what's wrong with their cars is kind of a passion. So I really enjoy that.
So, yeah. Well, what do you think are the most challenges that you face in your industry?
Let's see, challenges. So I guess inventory. We try and keep a pretty big inventory of all the different cylinder heads, and that takes a lot of effort to acquire those from junkyards and from all these different sources, so that we can stock our shelves. So sourcing those and finding those, and I guess really with the newer cars, we learn as they break down which ones are going to be really common. A really common job for us, and we gear up and kind of collect all these cylinder heads so that we can be prepared to just trade out old broken heads for rebuilt new heads. And during that process of figuring out which ones break down, we kind of learn about new engine designs, like the 2013 Subaru Outbacks have a chain driven engine that we're just now getting into. I mean, we've seen a fair amount of them. But now we're just now figuring out, all the ins and outs and getting super efficient at rebuilding. And we kind of know what that's all about now, where, at first it was kind of a struggle. So we got to learn a lot about that. And that was pretty cool. There's new 2020 turbos that Subaru makes that we've gotten a few cylinder heads in. So, we're learning about those now too. And, that keeps life interesting to have different experiences, different cylinder heads. Learn about the different technologies that they're coming up with. Yeah.
That's awesome. Where do you see yourself going in this industry?
Well, we want to get multiple shops, different locations, grow bigger and bigger, and help, a broader range of the populace. Right now we have people from, probably 50, 60 miles away that drive past several machine shops to get to us. And we want to branch that out even further, and be able to have a program here that makes it easy for them to utilize us. We can get delivery trucks or, drive out there, meet new people, and get them used to using us. Hopefully, because we have an advantage for them. Makes their life easier along with ours. But I mean, the big goal is to keep growing and helping more people.
Well, what do you think Boise Cylinder Head brings as an advantage compared to the other machine shops?
So, the people around us that are in this industry, they have a turnaround time of usually like 3 weeks or a couple months before they can get their work done. And so we really strive to make it so that we can get it in and out of here as quick as we can. I mean, as effectively as we can as well. We don't want to sacrifice quality for efficiency. But I mean, we generally turn things around, get it in the door, and 3 to 5 days later, we can get it back to our customer, if not sooner. And so that's a big advantage that we offer. I mean, dealerships and people that are in a real hurry to get their car back really enjoy that because, and nobody wants to be without their car for, a month or 2 months or whatever it takes for our competition to do it. We can get it in for the mechanic and get it out, sometimes same day, depending on what the work is. And I think that's the big advantage. I mean, even if we have to have a delivery truck bring it from, 100 miles away, we like to be geared up so that most of those jobs we can just put stuff right back on the truck when it gets here and send it back out there to keep that 3 to 5 day time frame for even people far away from us. So I think that's a huge advantage that we have, is that we can get their product back to them fixed, finished, ready to go in a short period of time.
What do you hope to accomplish with your YouTube channel?
Well, I guess informing people about what we do here, because I feel like, the average mechanic is aware that, their cylinder head breaks down, but they're not so familiar about what it takes to repair that. So resurfacing cylinder heads, bent valves, burnt valves, guide work, setting the adjustment after you rebuild a head. There's a lot of things in there that a lot of people are just unaware of. And, we charge for our time here when we're rebuilding a cylinder head, and some people are resistant to what we're charging because they don't understand, what's really going on. So, I mean, it's like a lot of people bring their car in and they tell them all these things are wrong, but they don't understand it, and then they're like $5,000 to fix all these things, and it's like, well, it just has a ticking noise. That doesn't seem like it should take $5,000 to fix a ticking noise, and until you understand what you have to do, what you actually have to go through to fix that ticking noise, they don't really understand why you're charging them so much. And I mean, doing these YouTube videos kind of shows people what it's all about and how much effort it actually takes to rebuild cylinder heads, and why we charge so much. Pretty much all the machines that we use.
Hey, Queen Karen, thank you for coming in. And Sweet Shay, it's great that you joined the live. So we appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
So this is his first live. So,
Yep.
Just want to introduce everybody to Derek. We'll be going live every Tuesday at around 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Right, Derek?
Yep, that's the plan.
Yeah. So tell us more about why the cylinder head is so important to the operation of a vehicle.
I guess the cylinder head controls your airflow. I mean, it lets your air into the combustion chamber and it lets the air out of the combustion chamber. So without that, I mean, you can't get the combustion that you need to drive the engine. And I mean, there's a lot of different variations of that, rocker arms or dual cams, single cams, but I mean, essentially it just controls the air in and out of the cylinder. And without that, you don't have an engine. So when that thing goes wrong, or if it's not sealing properly, you lose power and efficiency. And for people involved in the performance side of things, the more air in, the more air out, the more performance you can get out of an engine. So I mean, it controls the top portion of the engine, and I mean, it's crucial. It running properly is very crucial for the engine's performance. I mean, as time goes on, say 100,000 miles, your valves aren't sealing properly, which is letting air blow by the valves when it should be staying in the combustion chamber, and it goes from extremely efficient to losing 50% of its power, and that's where we come in. We can get the head. We usually get the heads torn off and brought to us, and then we can fix them up and seal them up all like they should be, and then you get that performance back. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't have my glasses on.
No worries. So what are kind of things that you plan on doing in the YouTube channel this year and going into next year? What are some videos that they can look forward to besides doing your lives every Tuesday around 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time?
Well, we kind of base it off of what we get through the door a lot of the times. We are going to be doing some Subaru turbo rebuilds, kind of start to finish. Right now we got some 351 Cleveland heads from Australia that we're working on. We're getting all the parts in for that, and we're going to show how to cut out the new seats and drive in or cut out the old seats and drive in the new seats, do all the guide work, and turn this old rusty thing into a nice, sweet cylinder head for this guy's Mustang. I mean, things like that. As we get some tractors in and some motorcycles, I want to kind of start doing a little bit about motorcycles as well. But I mean, when we get a cylinder head in, that's we think is interesting and takes a lot of work, we definitely want to do a video on it. So I think the Subaru turbos are a good one. Chrysler 4.7 rebuilds, we have to do a lot of seat work in there, and that takes a lot of time and know-how to rebuild those cylinder heads. We do have the new Subarus that are coming in more frequently. The Subaru turbos, like out of the WRX STIs. We're going to be doing some videos on those because those are chain-driven engines and quite a lot different than the, say, 2012 Subaru WRX engines. So we're probably going to do videos on both the earlier and the later versions of cylinder heads on those. And we'll kind of run through pretty much all the effort that it takes to to rebuild those, diagnose them, and figure out what's wrong, and go through them and repair them completely. So I think those are definitely videos that we're going to do. I also want to do more welding videos, because we do have to do weld repairs on aluminum cylinder heads whenever they get a crack that the customer wants to repair. We got to carve those things out and weld them up with our HeliArc welding machine. And that's fun for me, and I think it makes a good video. So people seem to enjoy that.
And you can let them know also that we have a lot of that video content already up with the Cleveland head and teardown and stuff of the Subarus. They can check that on the channel already.
Yeah, we've been doing videos for 5 months now, I think.
Yeah.
So we're still pretty new. We're still kind of getting our footing here, but I think we put out quite a lot of good content. A lot of welding videos, Subaru. We did some bolt extractions, and some we've welded up cylinder heads that had pitting in them and had to resurface the weld off and kind of machine it down so that it functioned properly. So there's a lot of good videos. We also did Subaru single overhead cam, like out of the 2008 Subaru Outback VVT. We've done some rebuild videos and some guide installs, and on those Chrysler 4.7s, we pulled seats out. We had to weld onto them and knock them out. That was kind of a fun video. We've done a few glass beating videos. We've kind of ran through what it takes to wash up cylinder heads out in our clean area. We use a spray booth, pressure washer, and a clean wash. And so that cleans up most of our parts. Those videos are on our channel. So I also like the Coast product that we've been using these Coast flashlights for a long time, and we did a couple videos and recently got some interest on that. So we're pretty excited about that as well.
So tell them more about who Derek is and what Derek does. I know you've talked about your influence of your father, but what drives you personally besides that influence? What makes you passionate?
At first I'd say that he was a big influence in getting me started in that. And then, once we got efficient enough to open another shop, it's kind of been about, this business and how far we can go with it. And how many people we can help, and just growing this business is a big drive for me. I mean, it keeps me interested in my job, and learning about life, learning about running a business has been a big influence. The people you meet, the connections you make, are all people that are into the automotive industry. I mean, honestly, we mostly deal with other mechanic shops. And so we get to see what kind of vehicles they're interested in too, and we get to make friends with these people and kind of join different car groups and I don't know, just building those connections and connecting to different people and helping them out with their cars is probably my biggest drive. Growing this business has been just a great joy, and watching it go from where it was to where it is now, it's just been amazing, and I just want to keep pushing to see how far we can grow this thing. So, yeah.
And what is it that you hope to accomplish with YouTube?
We'll just getting our name out there, making people aware of what we do here, and just growing the business, growing the brand, branching out even farther. I think we could help a lot of people across the country rebuild their cylinder heads. Because I know it's not accessible for a lot of people in a lot of towns to get cylinder head work done. So maybe they'll see our video and reach out to us, and we can help them out with their issues.
And we do encourage you to comment, ask questions. If there's something specifically you want to see in this industry, Derek, I'm sure, would be more than happy to make a video on it.
Yeah, so, for sure. We definitely like
it. We really want our audience to engage with us. Correct?
Yeah, definitely do. Any kind of car questions is awesome,
Or motorcycles, or boats, or tractors.
Any of that stuff. I mean, right now we do have a K24 Honda swap that some guy's doing. that he brought in a port and polished head that had been cracked, and we had to weld that thing up. And now we have to cut the seat out. We had to pressure test to make sure the weld was solid. We had to cut the seat out and rebuild this thing so we can put it into his some Toyota. I'm not quite sure what it is, but you know, the K24 swap's a common thing, and it's supposed to put out a lot of power. So those are kind of things we're interested in as well. You know, people who are doing creative things with their cars, like swapping Honda engines into Toyotas. That's pretty interesting stuff. So.
And you just might want to let the audience know that we also have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that, and hopefully everybody will follow us on those areas too.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we're definitely growing on all these different networks. Facebook has been great, and YouTube, and I guess you guys are all here now. So, and Instagram as well. What else do we got? We got Twitter and
Twitch,
and
basically every social media that's out there are pretty much on. So.
Yeah,
TikTok.
Yep, TikTok. We're working on getting more involved in all those places as well, but we've definitely got a good start going on. So,
yeah.
And liking and subscribing our YouTube channel would be great.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get to 1,000, and then we're going to do a giveaway of all our merch.
500.
500 subscribers. We're getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Once we get up there, we're going to start giving away some memorabilia. You know, hats, mugs, stickers, keychains, that kind of thing.
Because we definitely appreciate our fans. So
for sure. Yeah. What else? Yeah, we've been running at this location, Boise Cylinder Head, for about 4 years. The business itself has been around since 1968, and so we bought it about 4 years ago. And they had pretty much an automotive machine shop here, but it was more like in the 60s or 70s. All their equipment was old equipment, you know. And we ended up taking most of that stuff out of our shop and either trying to sell it or recycled it, because, you know, now we have newer machines with better technology that makes us more efficient, and it makes everything run smoother. So we had to pretty much gut all this place out and bring in our newer machines and equipment and kind of set up this whole shop to run for specifically just cylinder heads. So that's been you know, a lot of work and a lot of fun to get this place to where it is. But the old owners, I think, started out downtown Boise, Idaho, and then they bought this building, and they designed this building specifically for their needs, which, you know, worked out great for us as well once we bought this place back in 2017. So when we bought this place, so we've been going pretty strong for almost 4 years now. I think it's about 4 years now. Yeah.
How will you tell the audience the history behind your tagline? It's all in your head.
The history of that tagline. Yeah, we're trying to think of some kind of slogan or catchphrase or something for our shop here. And Brad, one of our technicians here, came up with the idea of it's all in your head, and that really settled in. I mean, we've used it a lot, and you know, we really enjoy saying it, because it is all in your head. Whenever somebody brings in a cylinder head here, it's something to do with something inside their cylinder head. So yeah, it's been a fun one.
And also the importance of what a cylinder head does for the whole engine as a whole.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you have a worn out cylinder head, the efficiency of the whole engine is going to be compromised. I mean, you got the lower end of the block, the cylinders and the pistons, and that's a good portion of what seals off the compression chamber or the combustion chamber. But the cylinder head is the other half of that. And if your head gasket is failing, that's in between your block and your cylinder head. If that's failing, you're going to have a huge loss of power. If your valves are failing, you're going to lose power there. So, I mean, all this stuff really needs to be, you know, in pretty good shape and stay that way in order to have a good functioning engine. I mean, some people, like if we were to use that old equipment that was left behind, I mean, it doesn't do a fine finish like the machines we have now. And so you can get a cylinder head rebuilt. And if you don't have proper equipment, you're going to get it rebuilt, and it's only going to be at 50% what it should be, or I mean, maybe 75%. But with this new equipment, we can test everything and make sure that the cylinder heads are running at peak performance, and they'll last too. Because a lot of things that you can do, like in the past, they used to lap valves in with a little bit of like oil and sand, and they'd spin a valve so that it'd recreate a new contact area between the seat and the cylinder head and the valve, and that would seal your cylinder valves for a little bit. But nowadays we cut them and make them a specific size so that they have longevity to run, another 50,000 or 100,000 miles. And also that's one of the best things we hear around here is when a customer comes back and they're like, hey, you rebuilt this engine, you rebuilt this cylinder head, and it lasted another 160,000 miles. And that really tells us that our work on these cylinder heads are as good as they should be, and they're done in a way that they're going to last for a really long time. And that way everyone who comes to our shop, that we work on their cylinder heads, they know they get a solid product that's going to last for a long time.
Yeah. Hello, Amy. Thank you for joining the live.
Hi, Amy.
So, all right. Well, how about we wrap it up then?
Yeah.
And thank everybody for joining our first live that was here live.
Ooh.
And if you're watching this in a replay,
yeah, thanks everybody for joining. This is a new experience for me, so I hope you enjoyed the little bit of talking we did there. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe and check out our channel. And I don't know if there's a like button on this thing.
Yeah, there will be once it's posted. We already have 2 likes. So.
Oh, sweet. I like it. But yeah, like it, hit our bell notification so you get our notifications on all our videos. We plan on doing a lot this year and the coming year. But yeah, thank you all for watching. And remember, it's all in your head.